Can't wait for people to expose me today. Can't wait for the truth to come out. Can't wait for all y'all to be off on all these rumors. Hey, hi, hello, welcome back. Today I'm gonna be reacting to rumors about my reading life. I went over on my Instagram, at jessethereader if you wanna give me a follow, and had you guys submit assumptions and rumors about my reading life. And today I'm going to be reacting to those rumors. Today's video is being sponsored by Disney Book Group and is inspired by the recent release of The Rumor Game. Do you get the inspiration for the video? Reacting to rumors? The Rumor Game. Yeah! We're playing our own rumor game today. This is the Booksplosion Book of the Month for the month of March. Our live show will be on April 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and a link as to where you can get the book will be listed down below in the description. This book follows a group of girls who get caught up in a rumor game. It takes place at a prep school for the children of DC's elite. In it, we followed 3 girls. We've got Bryn, whose life has been completely ruined by a rumor. We've got Cora, who is the cheer captain and it girl. And Georgie, who was once overlooked, but after a summer makeover, all eyes are on her. Can somebody give me a summer makeover? Please! I need a transformation! Should I go blonde? The 3 girls are all caught up in rumors and scandals. Some are losing everything because of it, and some are gaining popularity because of it. There's one person who has the power to end the rumor game, but the question is, do they really want it to end? I'm super excited to discuss this with the Booksplosion crew because I feel like it's one that's going to lend itself to a really great discussion. I think the topic of rumors will be an interesting one to delve into, and I'm sure that we will all have personal experiences to share in the live show. I'm a fan of books that have drama with every page flip, and I feel like this is gonna be a book that brings on the drama. And to that I say, bring it on! I need to know what the most drama-filled book is that you read recently. I may or may not be compiling a new TBR list for myself. The book is formatted in a really fun way, incorporating text messages, lists, DMs, stuff like that, and I always love when books incorporate elements like that. This book was written by the author duo that brought us the book Tiny Pretty Things, so they're seasoned authors, they've worked together before. I'll be honest, I haven't read that book, but I'm excited to read this one and get a little taste for their writing. It's gonna be a little book taste test. Rumor has it though that they're excellent co-writers. Again, the Booksplosion live show for this book will be on April 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will leave a link down below in the description to our channel if you want to join us for the live show. Now today, inspired by this book, The Rumor Game, I'm going to be reacting to rumors about my reading life that you guys submitted over on my Instagram. Let's get started. Let's confirm or deny rumors. Let's get exposed! You've actually started liking romance books. Listen! Are you listening? I've got a video in the works that might explore the answer to this question in more detail, but let me just say my eyes have been opened. I've been opening my heart to new genres, embracing new things in my reading life, and I've been in full-on identity crisis mode. I thought I was solid in my reading taste. I thought I was like concrete solid, can't be shaken, but I've been shooken up, and let me tell you, it's been weird. It's been confusing. Because for so long I've had my foot in the romance ain't it mud, but that mud has started to disappear slowly but surely, and I'm probably more stunned than all of y'all. But again, wait for the video that's coming. You had/have issues with identity because reading became your personality. Honestly, yeah, and I don't want the answer for this to come off negatively because obviously I love books. Like, clearly. I wouldn't still be here after 10 years yelling, screaming, and shouting about books if I didn't love it. With that being said, being a reader is just a portion of who I am, albeit a rather large portion of the Jesse pie. I also have other pieces of my pie that most of y'all will never see. More flavors, more taste, more ingredients. But I prefer to keep things bookish on here because that's what this channel is, a book channel. If you want to see other pieces of me, then you've got to follow me on things like Instagram and Twitch. You hate reading around other people. Indeed, someone read me a little too well. It's actually so hard for me to disengage and read when there are other people around. Mind you, I guess this is situational, because if I'm at like a cafe or a bookshop, I can easily check out. Humans? What are those? But I think it's when I'm with people I know, I don't want them to think that I'm neglecting them in any way. So it's hard for me to read, because when I'm reading, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm boring, I must entertain them. Oh my gosh, what if they never want to hang out with me ever again because all I do is read? Oh my gosh, they probably hate me because I'm sitting here reading and ignoring them. And that's on being an overthinker, my pals. I assume you're hyped for the Percy Jackson TV show? Hyped is the understatement of the century. The way I'm dying to know who the cast is, the way I'm dying for them to drop the smallest of hints, the way I'm deceased at the fact that we're even getting a second chance. So basically, yes, you prefer buying and reading hardbacks. This is very true. I know there is a hardcore fan club out there for paperbacks, and I love that for my paperback lovers. And I don't mind a paperback every now and then. I get that they're more comfortable for people to hold while they're reading, but I love the feeling of a hardback book in my hands. They're sturdy, I can form a strong grip on them, I can take them wherever I go without fear of them getting bent, I can throw them across the room without fear of them getting damaged. Well, most of the time. It just works for me, you know? On top of that, they don't do that annoying thing where they fall over every time you're organizing your bookshelves. These hardbacks, they're not gonna fall over. You gotta really put some force into it to make it fall. But these paper baddies, They fall in an instant. Rude. You have your bookshelves organized in some fancy way. I wish I was the type of person to be like, I'm a full-on librarian and they're in alphabetical order. Or like, my books are in their genre families. Or some kind of like fancy dancy method like that. But no. You know what my organization method is? Just vibes. If I feel like a book vibes well with another book, I will place them next to each other. I highly recommend the just vibes organization method. Even though I feel like it should be called the chaotic, these aren't really organized organization method. You forget to make videos about your reads. I wish this wasn't true, but sometimes it is. In fact, it happened a lot last year. Last year was such a frustrating year on several accounts. And in particular, I was frustrated with my content. I had all these video plans for like secret TBRs, themed reading vlogs, or interesting themed bookish videos, and they just never came into fruition. So there were several books that I read last year that I never talked about. And that's unfortunate, but I'm working on being better about it. You buy books that you don't know anything about, just the cover. Expose me, why don't you? I don't really see a problem here though, because sometimes it's a win situation. The book cover is beautiful, and the insides are beautiful too. Then there are obviously the times when it's a pretty cover and an ugly story. But we don't talk about those times. You're not a fan of audiobooks. My friend, the opposite actually. I wouldn't be able to read as many books as I do without audiobooks. I am a full-time multitasker, and if there's a task I can do while I listen to audiobooks, in the AirPods Go, and the audiobook I consume. I will say that more times than not, I don't mention in my videos if I've read the book via audiobook, because all the people on their high horses like to come out and shout, "That's not real reading!" And I just don't have time for that pretentious negative energy. You avoid longer books. I wish this wasn't true. But it is. It's true, unfortunately. Rumor confirmed. I really would like to work on being more open to the idea of reading big books, but I just get intimidated by them. And if anyone has any tips on how to get over this intimidation, please fill up my comments section with advice. You didn't finish the first Wheel of Time book. I actually did, and this was actually a situation where I was filming a themed reading vlog surrounding Wheel of Time, but then when I sat down to edit the video, I had crippling anxiety over my content and deleted the whole thing. In the trash it went. But I love the first book. Have I continued on with the series? Absolutely not. Do I plan to? Absolutely yes. Will it take me 50 years? 100%. While it's slow at times, Robert Jordan builds up such a rich world that I couldn't help but love. There's a lot of solid characters, and the thing that I loved about it the most is that I was never bored while reading it. There's so much going on, so much happening, that it was hard for me to not enjoy it. You absolutely loved sprayed edges / decorated edges, especially when they're detailed. Yes, yep, I honestly think that every publisher should be required to give every book that they produce the sprayed edges treatment, because there's no reason not to. Here are some of my favorite that I own. Boom, pow, boom, pow, boom, pow, boom, pow. You don't read as much anymore, but you're enjoying what you do read more. Surprisingly, this is incorrect. I'm actually at a point where I'm reading more than I ever have before. It might not seem that way because I don't talk about the books that I've read online until I've posted a video about them, which I know doesn't make any sense. Like, why would I do that? But that's because I've got several themed reading vlogs and secret TBRs coming up, and I just want to keep them a secret until the video's out, and then I'll talk about them everywhere else. I feel like I've actually had a new sense of love come over me for reading recently. I think it's because I'm opening myself up to books that I would have never read in the past. And that's filling my reading life with lots of excitement. It's nice to constantly have this urge to want to clock out and just read all day. I got this next one a lot. You don't read as much fantasy these days. I'd say that I've definitely taken a break from the fantasy genre. That's not to say that I will never get back to it. I'm working on getting back to it. I just needed a break though, because I felt like a lot of the fantasy books that I was picking up just felt the same. And that's not to say that there aren't any unique fantasy books out there, because obviously that's not true. It's just the ones that I was picking up, they all felt like a repeat fantasy to me. And honestly, there was a time when I was really interested in fantasy that like really had a political focus. Like I used to be all about those fantasy books that were driven by politics. But I think that's a big thing I got tired of, the political intrigue. I just want like a fun, mindless fantasy to get lost in. Recommendations in the comments, please. You've never read a Jane Austen novel and you have no interest in reading one. Plot twist, I actually have read a Jane Austen novel. I've read Northanger Abbey, which I don't think I have a copy of anymore. It wasn't my favorite, but I didn't hate it. And I'm definitely open to reading more Jane Austen in the future. You try to read more unpopular books to give them some love too. I honestly do, and I don't know if people ever recognize that. Not that I need the validation. It's okay if people don't recognize it. But I feel like I've always been perceived as, ugh, he only reads all the hyped popular stuff. I would say personally that I try to have a balance of popular books and then books that people have never heard of before. I just feel like so many books go overlooked on BookTube, BookTok, Bookstagram, BookTwitter, and I don't want to be an overlooker. Some of my favorite books that I've read over the past few years that are underrated are Sunny Song Will Never Be Famous, The Space Between Worlds, Moshi Moshi, Not So Pure and Simple, and The Cost of Knowing, just to name a few. You don't read manga anymore. I haven't touched one in a long time. I just have such a hard time keeping up. I would equate it to me and my relationship with TV. Like, I am really bad at keeping up with television shows that I really enjoy. Like, I will be really loving a television show and I will never finish it because I have such a hard time keeping up with it or even just committing to it. So with manga, you have tons of series, and for me, it's so hard to keep up. But I really want to change that, even though I say this all the time. I'm like, I really want to get back to manga. I want to read it all the time. I want to just boom, 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 read manga all day, every day. I'm gonna try to break into a new series soon, ooh, hoo, 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 and hopefully get myself out of my manga slump. You still haven't finished the ACOTAR series yet. That is correct. But I'm thinking about doing vlogs for each book in the series. If that's something that you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments. You're slowly losing interest in middle grade fiction. It has been a second since I read a middle grade book, and I would say that the interest is there. I just don't prioritize reading it for whatever reason. I don't know. You buy a whole series before even reading one of them. Unfortunately, I do not recommend this book buying method because, like, it makes no sense. But I've never said that I'm someone who is a logical book buyer. You've never read a Colleen Hoover book. Never have I ever. I'm not opposed to the idea, but she's currently not on my priority list. Last one, you miss your black shelves. Here's the deal. I love my white shelves, but there is a part of me that misses my black bookshelves. Like, there are days when I come into this room and I just kind of miss my black bookshelves. I say that, and yet I still prefer the white. My parents actually have my black bookshelves in their house currently, so I do visit them often and give them a little kiss. They told me to tell you all hello. That's all for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed me reacting to these rumors. A lot of them were true, a lot of them were false, and it was just an interesting mix all around. Again, thank you to Disney Book Group for sponsoring today's video. The Rumor Game is in stores now. And again, the Booksplosion live show for the Rumor Game is on April 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But before I go, I want to hear from you guys down below in the comments. I want to know one thing that you feel like people assume about your reading life. Because obviously, I'm sure that a lot of people in your life know that you are a reader. What kind of things do you think people assume about your reading life? Like that you buy too many books, that you read only romance books, or you don't let people borrow books from your collection. Let me know down below in the comments some things that you think people assume about your reading life. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, yo!